Okay, Hibiki problem. I was asked to film this. I'm not quite sure what it's going to achieve, but when you're asked and all that. The Hibiki problem is highly likely to be a fungus, albeit one that I've never heard of before, but see previous video. The name of the fungus is in the video. So all those people who put a comment saying, "What is this fungus called?" you didn't watch the video very well, did you? The name's there. Anyway, I'll answer the questions. This is what I've currently got, and that's all I've currently got. The low-level ingredient, I doubt if that will focus with enough light. Anyway, you can always blow it up, I suppose, but that's what it is. I'm not even going to attempt to try and pronounce it. But that's the low-level ingredient. The other fungicide that I've ordered is different, so I have managed to find a second one. Now, the measurements for this are 4 to 6 ml per litre. I've got half a litre, marked in pen, because this daft thing goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The 5 wasn't there, so I've marked it. And I've measured out, I'll call it a good 3, and I mean a good 3. But with chemicals, there's not a lot of point in overdosing thinking you're going to achieve much, because you probably won't. Let me just get the tap running, the reason for that, not quite that much. Right, so that goes in there, and that's supposed to be about 3.5 ml. This is the bit that's important. How much do you think's still in there? Yeah, make sure you get the lot. Give it a good rinse. Now, okay, that's why I did a good 3, simply because having rinsed that, I've now probably got more than half a litre. Yeah? Right, so we'll put the top on and give that a good shake. This is going to be fun one-handed, but I'll see how far I can get. I might have to change hands with the camera. So this is a pressure sprayer. The mix has had a good shake, but we do need to pump it up and get some pressure in there, knocking all the blooms off my Oncidium here. The next thing you do is check what comes out. Right, that's a fine spray. Obviously it's adjustable on this thing. Right, I'm not sure I can do this with one hand. I'll basically, so I need somewhere as well as, I'm in the middle of watering my mounts here, but I got to the Hibiki and I thought, well, if I water it, then I can't get the chemical to soak in through the roots. I'll sort that out in a minute. If you see what I mean, you know, if the roots are wet, then they're not going to soak much more in, are they? That's probably moved enough plants out of the way. If I get a bit on other plants, it doesn't really matter. But what I do want to get it on is all of the Hibiki. So you've got 2 things to do. First of all, spray plant. All of plant. Canes. Everything you can see. Now I know that's going on the blooms, tough. But I want this plant absolutely soaking wet, every bit of it. Oops, I forgot about the camera. I'm watching what I'm doing, not what the camera's doing. Right, so that's part 1. Every bit of that plant that I can see is now soaking wet. Which bit of the plant isn't soaking wet? The bit I can't see. That lot. Yeah, bearing in mind that's where a lot of the problem is. So in theory I should be able to stand that up, and now we'll do the other side of the plant. I've got no guarantee this is even going to work, but I'm determined to have a go. And at this point I can see where the roots are. They're going to get a soak. The sheaths, the canes, I don't care if it goes on the blooms, I need to cure the plant. Right, so that's had a really good soak, top side and bottom side, and roots. Now those roots were dry, but they will take that in. So the stuff is coming at the plant from all directions, from the top side of the leaves, the bottom side of the leaves, and up through the roots. and hopefully the sheaths are soaking wet. The whole plant has had a good coat. And as I've got some left over, I'm just going to have a quick look round and see if there's anything else that might benefit from a go, just to use it up. Basically, I'm sure I can find a couple of oncidiums with spotty leaves or something. I'll find something to use it up on. But with any chemical, read the instructions. And the most important thing that I think you need to read is disposal. Yeah. Some of this stuff is incredibly toxic out in the open environment, especially where there's water. Yeah. So, you know, keep it away from ponds, keep it away from pets and everything like this. Now, I know a lot of that went on my floor, and some people might worry about that. My floor gets wet quite frequently. It's going to get diluted. Don't forget, this is diluted. Yeah? The safety specification on a lot of chemicals are based on the chemical in the jar, the bottle, the tin, the container, not the diluted stuff. So it's at its most dangerous when it's neat. Once it's diluted, it's obviously just that, diluted. But nonetheless, wash hands, don't breathe the stuff in if it's a fine spray. Follow the instructions. Be safe. Okay? Now I've got to put that somewhere to drip, and because it's been absolutely soaked, it doesn't get watered this time round. So that's one less to water. And now I need to get on. I do have another chemical coming. Once that arrives in a few days' time, and this has had the appropriate interval, which it says in the instructions, yeah, then I'll give it a go with the other chemical, because I'm determined to beat this, actually save this plant. And hopefully that's stage one of doing so.